G'day, welcome back to the lab. Lockdown day 10. Progress continues on this VK56DE powered Gloria. You would have seen previous video yesterday. You might not have seen it. You should have seen it. You should be watching them all. Skip through the jibber jabber if you like. But keep an eye on the progress. So we've got some bits, stainless steel moustaches. So got enough stuff to get the exhaust system done, I reckon. I've just changed the design just a little bit from what I had originally intended to do. Still perfectly functional. It's going to look great. It's going to work. It's not going to change the sound at all. It just means we don't have to try and find another 2 or 3 of those stainless steel bends, which we will not be able to purchase right at this point in time due to the lockdown. So I've mocked that up in the back of the car, showed you that in the previous video, out with the drop saw, and let's cut some shit up. So a couple of bits of masking tape under here and in a few spots just to remind me of where the issues are, and then the exhaust system's drop down and hit the floor with a hammer, literally. So yes, there's a few small, we got up close. Looks a little bit ugly because I have literally hit it with a hammer. By the time that's all cleaned up and painted and a heat shield's in between those, no one's going to see it, no one's going to care, it's not going to affect the structure at all, anything like that, so it's all good. There's a little bit of relief probably required there, and we might have to do something slightly better than a cable tie to hold the exhaust. It's going to be fine in the meantime, just so I get things in the right position, etc. Obviously not going to last more than about a minute when we start the car up one day. Cut the front edge of these radiuses off. These have about 25 mils past the actual curve in the pipe. So I've taken that straight edge off there, and that's given us heaps of room in between the diff. There's a reasonable amount of room in between the arms and the exhaust, bearing in mind those arms actually will go up at this edge here. That needs to have that basically where the end of that bolt is. That'll be pretty much up where the floor is or close to that, and the floor will have a little notch out of it for that. So yep, that works out really well. That'll come from here, it'll come around this shock absorber and off to that corner, and I've checked all that out and that's going to work. And I've used the old fingerometer, set it there. That's how much suspension travel we've got, plus a bit because of the bump stop, and then basically put that on top of there. Heaps of room. So, and that will actually sit up a little bit higher than that when I go to do the welding, because it's actually just dropping down under its own weight at the moment. Looking good. Not bad for a Saturday morning. Right, lunchtime, and then I'll carry on. Rightio, a bit of zippy zappy happening there on the bench. Buzzing those two things together. Somewhere up there is a spider having lunch. Anyway, carry on. Getting distracted. You guys have got time. We could. You can't really see the welding up in there, can you? Well, it's all right. It's nice. I've got that. Is that better? That's better. Yeah, that's nice. See, it's good. So I've got that piece done to that point. I've not welded it onto here yet because we're going to do the next stage is we're going to do that bit there, which is a 50mm extension, just straight, and then we've got the curve that happens here. So I've done the extension and the curve. I've got to figure out the angle, cut the angle off, put the tailpipe part of it, let's call it a tailpipe anyway, on, then we weld that bit onto there, and then the final bit is that one there to get the position exactly right. And of course, it's basically a mirror image on this side. Now this side, I think I'm going to end up having to move this, unfortunately. It's just the way it is. The guy was pretty keen to get that all on there as part of a complete package, and it just doesn't always work out like that. Sometimes you actually have to have everything else there to see where it's all going to make it all work nicely, but that's no biggie. That's going to be pretty easy. Just undo these fittings, undo that bolt and that fitting there, probably put a bracket from there down to here somewhere, have the brake hose on it in a different position. Might even go forwards or whatever. We'll sort it out later. Easy peasy. It's the driver's side tailpipe section, looking pretty good. Just 2 welds there. Never actually measured what that angle is. I assume it's something like 50 degrees, 60 degrees, something like that. It's definitely not 45, and it's definitely not 90. Doesn't matter anyway. We've run out of time today. I've fluffed around with a whole heap of other things. But I've got this passenger side. Where's the best way to film that? Sorry, if that was loud, sorry. That sneaks up past that side of that control arm over the top of the diff. And along there, around the shock absorber, heaps of room around the shock absorber by the time you put a spring on there even. Oh yeah, that welding doesn't look too bad. Won't need to hide that. And then exhaust pipe at the moment just tucks out in that general area, so nothing's welded onto the muffler at the moment, so that's just sitting there with gravity holding that, so it could be quite a long way out from where it ends up being, so don't be fussy about that, don't stress. So yeah, that's starting to come together quite well. Just gonna, I don't know how much of that you're gonna see from the back of the car when you're up on the, when it's on the ground and you're 6 feet higher than that. I guess you probably won't see much at all, just the tip hanging out the end. So we'll put a 45-degree angle just here to get that pipe basically level where it comes out under the guard. It'll still be on an angle towards the back, but it'll be level. Excuse my wonky camera. And then the customer's designing his tip that he wants me to build for on there. He's an architect, so he should be pretty good at doing that sort of thing. So yeah, it's let's have a lie on the ground for you guys, and you can have a look at. Oh, there we go. It's not bad. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? Actually, it's not bad at all. And so we'll get on with the other side. Actually, I've only got one more weld. I'm being lazy. It's 4:30. I'll do the other weld. Yeah, let's do that, and I'll get back under here and I'll show you the whole. Go like that, and we'll see both sides, and it'll look honky dory. It'll look awesome. There we go. Last weld for today, all done. Obviously, there's 2 more welds on the system for it to be more or less complete, front to rear, with obviously no tailpipes and no mounts, but that'll do because we're running out of day. Right, let's see if it actually fits. That'll be embarrassing, won't it? I'm not going to edit this. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's not the easiest pipe to get in there. Oh, sorry, you're not seeing the fun part. There you go. It's actually quite hard to do all this one-handed. Oh, that's in there. There's none of it hanging out. Looks like it's all tucked in there, so that's all right. And heaps of room for it to wriggle or jiggle around to wherever we need it to be, obviously. That's about the spot there. Not sure if this one will stay put like the other one did. She's a bit risky. It is staying there. It's drooped down a lot more than the other one. I am not getting under that car in case that falls on my head. But there we go. That's what it is underneath there. That's how it's going to look. Obviously, the floor's going to get all painted. There'll be some red springs on our shock absorbers and wheels and tyres and a few other bits and bobs. But that's it. Bit of a short video today. I'm not going to fill it up with fluff. I'm going to have a look at our drive shaft tomorrow. I'm going to start having a bit of a think about how that's actually going to work properly and get the angles correct and not end up with vibration when he's got too many people in the car or anything like that. So, alright, that'll do you. Stay safe, follow the bloody rules. Catch you later. Cheers, bye.